Clarence.
Dak Prescott. Clarence Hill, Forward Star Telegram.
Which one are you?
I'm Clarence Hill.
Okay.
You guys, was it tough to focus on this team, considering, they're starting a rookie quarterback, so many things going bad for them? Just talk about the way you guys focused and took care of business against this team.
No, I wouldn't say it was tough to focus. I mean, I've talked about it week after week. This is the NFL. Those guys get paid. Those guys hopefully love this game and put the same preparation and work into it. So you've got to, prepare the same way, stay focused the same way, and then go out there and try to handle business. And not only that, it was game one, right? I mean, obviously they haven't had probably the season they had looked forward to, but that being game one until now, there's probably things that, they pictured maybe go better, this and that, yeah, we came in with the same focus as we normally would. Obviously, didn't score on that first drive, but got momentum going. Yeah, we're ready to go. We're ready to play, and we'll continue to do that. As I've talked about, this is about us. This is about us running our own race, and no matter what the score is, the other opponent, what they're going through, what's tough for them, young quarterback, whatever. We're trying to build. We're trying to build and become a better team, and as I said, show our best performance and best versions of ourselves each week.
Dak, Todd Archer with ESPN. You've outscored them by 72 points this year. Is that unfathomable in some sort of way? It's the most in team history.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's got to be a record, I'm sure. The points that we've put up in 2 games, obviously, and then credit our defense, them holding them to, 17 in 2 games. I mean, hard to do in this league, hard to do against a division opponent, somebody that you see twice. So, yeah, I mean, but that's not something, it's not a goal we went after, not something that we're trying to, make sure we do this. Obviously, we wanted to handle them for the, second time this season, and just happened to be in that manner with that many points, and the defense playing as well as they did. Fortunate circumstances for them, young quarterback, but he made some plays at times, and yeah, so I mean, good for us.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Your thoughts on how you've been playing the last 4 or 5 weeks, especially since after that 49er game?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I go back and talk about, I think about before the 49ers game, going into that game, I felt confident. I felt good about everything that happened. The results just obviously were not there. But in this headspace, being prepared, chemistry of this team, chemistry of the coaching staff, credit them. And I feel like I talk about them every week, and hopefully deservingly, or hopefully I do, and deservingly so, because they're a great group that are giving us everything that we need, staying on us, always making changes when we need them. And they're fun to play for and to play with in that sense and work with. So credit them, but for me it's just about being comfortable, being free, as if we talked about going back into the offseason, the footwork, all the different things that we worked on. And I just feel like obviously at this point, so many games into the season, all that's coming to play, and it just feels more natural, you know what I mean, that we're this far in it, really listening to my feet, believing them, the pass protection, working hand in hand, being able to change up so many protections, guys being dialed, guys outside going and making plays. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb with the streak and the I don't even want to call it a streak because that's who he is. It's just what he's beginning to do week in and week out. It starts with him, but then those other guys understanding if we're going to get one-on-one opportunities, we're going to do the same thing. And obviously, Brandon had a night tonight. MG, a couple big catches. Yeah, so everything's just really coming together, and that's my point of. This is about us. This is about us hitting our peak at the right time and just trying to grow, and we're going to do that. We're going to make sure that doesn't stop. We're not satisfied with this. I can promise you that. I'll have an interception and maybe two or more plays. One should have been an interception that I won't. You know what I mean? Get quite the peaceful sleep that I want. We'll be thinking about, but that's where I am. That's where this offense. That's where this team is striving to be our complete best.
John Machota, The Athletic. Why do you think the connection with Brandon Cooks was working so well right from the beginning, the entire first half, really?
Practice, man. I mean, y'all know me. I always talk about practice, what we put into it, going back to this game plan, going back to early in the week. I told him, say let's put the work in, and it's going to come out. I mean, he's been there for us all year when we've needed him to. There's been games that we've come back and said, could you get him more involved? And yeah, sure, maybe so, right? He's that type of player that deserves those questions when he's not getting those targets or getting those catches. And then little communication that we had throughout this week, and then he had a great week of practice. Some plays were, built and meant up to go for him, and then the others, he went and won. When they would double CD, they would do this or that. He went and beat his man and made it easy for me to throw.
Michael Gelkin, Dallas Morning News. Gallup said afterward the game that it feels like this performance by all the receivers will change the way that future opponents cover you guys in terms of all the attention they pay to CD. They can't do that any longer. They might try, but it's shown that you guys can overcome that. Do you see that this could be something of a changing point for how teams approach you guys?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Interested what they'll do. You're going to leave CD one-on-one then? Yeah, I mean, in this league, you understand that people are always trying to take away what you do best. But when those guys go out there and they perform like they did, to Michael's point, I don't know what a defense does. You know what I mean? You've got to leave one-on-one somewhere. And MG's going to go make those plays. Brandon's going to go make those plays. Ferg's going to go make them. You want to play soft, we'll just get the run game going even more. So, sure, interested to see how it goes.
Saudis, The Athletic. Dak, a couple of things that you just mentioned. Clearly the passing game was a story, but the run game looked to get going. What can you say about how you guys got that going and also just the play of Rico Dowdle today? Yeah,
I mean, it starts with those guys up front. Their communication, us being on the same page, getting to the looks that we want. Mike dialing it up, and yeah, those guys running really, really hard outside the tackles, and then boom, then being able to pierce it up the middle. And then Rico is a hard-nosed runner, and has been from the time that he showed up. Obviously, he dealt with some injuries and some adversity early in his career, but to just see him out there now, healthy. Running physical, he's a talented player, and then obviously when you have TP, you have that speed. Just being able to use those two guys are going to continue just to help us and allow this offense to be balanced as we move forward.
You often hear run to set up the pass or pass to set up the run. How do you view how those two things work?
Me particularly?
Yeah.
Run to set up the pass. You know what I mean? Started off there, and I'm a guy that loves play action. And just it creates favorable matchups, right? When you have the run game going, they've got to play one-on-one outside. They've got to get in a single high. And then, yeah, from there, the way these guys are running, the way these guys are getting open, winning their one-on-ones, makes my job a whole lot easier.
Justin Barnes, Pro Football Network. Dak, can you talk about MG's night tonight and kind of building that confidence back up with him with the plays he made today?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has been a fan of MG, I know everybody in here can attest it's me. And understand that he's had some tough games, some adversity, but that's life. The last thing he's going to do is fold. Last thing he's going to do is allow that to get to him. I'm going to allow that to get to me and not feed the guy. So happy for him, honestly. Not surprised at all. Happy for him. Obviously, a huge catch down in the end zone, making another big one later, and that's who he is. You get the ball up, give him an opportunity, and watch him go do the rest. And as I said, that's just when he could do that, other guys are winning. Interested to see how they play us, what they decide.
Jared.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Dak, Mike said you've been in total command of this offense. You're the first Cowboys player to have over 300 yards and 3 passing touchdowns in 3 straight. What is it about this stretch of games and how things are coming together for your offense that allowed you to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think as I said, it goes back into the offseason work we put into this, right? I mean, we're, 9 games? 9 games into this? 9 games into this that, first couple was, I hate to say filling it out, but, right? I mean, Mike, probably be the first to tell you, first game, him calling some plays and trying to do this, trying to do that, and first time calling a game in a while, I guess you could say. And then for me, just really listening to my feet, right? Being balled into the protection, balled into the reads of the allowing my feet to talk to me, whether 1's there, 2's there, 3's, whatever, 4, double hits, you start to run. Just really think it's all coming together, but it just goes back into the preparation, way back into the spring, and we've continued to talk, communicate. Something that has been huge, I know I mentioned in the past, is the play caller purpose. I understand what he wants and what he's trying to get after on each and every play, and with that I know I have the freedom to get us out of something else, to get us in this, if it's that look, or just go play my game, allow the reads to come to me, and then use my feet to move. So. It's fun. It's been really fun.
Hey, Dak. Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Kind of circling back to Brandon Cooks' day. On one particular play, you hit him deep over the middle. He turned the Jets on, and after the play, you smirked a little bit. Just how good did it feel to see him finally have that explosive day in the Cowboys uniform?
Yeah, I mean, great. Honestly, great. Well over 100, right? I mean, what, over 150? Yeah, 170. Yeah, that's what it's about. Get that guy the ball, let him go run. That one, the play action, the big corner route, multiple plays. I mean, I didn't realize, but Coop, said he had 100 at halftime. So, I mean, just for him to have that production is awesome. I mean, that guy deserves it more than anybody. Amazing teammate, amazing friend, amazing guy. Does everything the right way, and honestly, he deserves that. And he'll have more of them. I promise you. It might not be an every week thing. Who knows? But he will have more of these games, and that's why he was brought here. And then he's been dependable, whether he's gotten the targets or not. When he does get them, that's what he does. So, you know, we'll find him more, and that's what I told him. That was part of the conversation. Is we'll find you more touches.
Michael Less.
Dak CeeDee Lamb talked about where he is in the hierarchy of wide receivers in the league. I'm curious what you think about where CD should be considered amongst the pantheon of wide receivers in the NFL.
I mean, that's an obvious question for me. Number one, he's the guy that I throw to. I know the work that he puts into this. You're not going to be able to cover him one-on-one. I don't know who you have or who you think you have on the other side. You're just not going to be able to. And at that point, you know, you're going to be forced to put two people on him, and he'll still beat that at times. And then really all that does is now he's going to be the assist man, because he's going to take those two guys and allow other people outside of that to win, as he showed tonight in different situations. And so, and there's times, as I said, he was double tonight. You go back and you look at the iPad, I'm like, damn, he's still open, right? And so, talented guy, and he's young. That's one of the bigger things of this, and me promoting him and how great he is he's young. I mean, he's scratching the surface in these last few games, or what you see when we give him the targets and put the ball in his hands as much as we can. And I'll tell you, there's another play left out there that he probably would have went for 70 on the tip pass on the slant. So he's special. He's special.
Clarence.
Is that black camo printed?
Yeah, there you go. You know, Veterans Day.
Okay, that's what
Yeah,
Veterans
you know,
Day
the
is.
whole weekend is black and navy camo. So.
A couple of years ago in 2021, you were up for MVP, at least early in the season, you were hot. I mean, how would you compare where you're playing now to then?
I've never been a statistics guy, honestly. So that in that sense, it doesn't matter. But I can tell you, I've never been as confident, as free, as connected with other guys in the offense, play calling, and just this whole system and what we're trying to get after that, as I am now. And so, I mean, that's credit to those guys. It's credit to Coach, to McCarthy, to Schottenheimer, Tozine, and the rest of the offensive staff of just being able to communicate exactly what we're trying to get, what we're getting after, showing me looks, preparing me, and then obviously the work that me and these guys put in, whether it be on our own in the film study, whether it be I mean that individually, or whether it be together when, you know, coaching them go over things. So it feels good, honestly. It does. Great chemistry, and we're just going to continue to build, man. We're going to continue to build. This isn't about me rather than it's about this team. Obviously, we've got a hell of a defense, and we just got to make sure that we continue putting up points, allow those guys to hunt the other quarterback, and be tough.
Nick.
Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com. Can you talk about those big guys up front, bounce back effort that they had? How did it allow for the offense to work today?
It starts with them. It really does, right? We can talk about, you know, CD's going for 3 games, 150, Brandon having the 170 game, me playing as well as I am. None of that happens without these guys up front busting their asses and fighting. And that's a great defensive line right there. Obviously, big time. You know what I mean? Starting in the middle with Big Lawrence, Dexter Lawrence, and you know you've got to stop those guys and shut those guys down and hold them off for us to be able to attack downfield. And they did that. And then, as we said, we've been able to get in the run game going, creating holes, and just having that balance. Communication, obviously, right up front, right guard, Zach Martin, through, you know what I mean, through the rest of them. Tyron's playing some of his best ball, as we've talked about. 2 games in a row. Haven't necessarily seen the film, but I can tell you I wasn't worried about that side, you know what I mean? So between him and Tyler doing their thing, and then, as you said, bounce back. Speaking of bounce back, Terrence Steele had a hell of a game, right? So that's what it's about, us all complimenting each other. Those guys knowing that I'm going to work with them, you know what I mean, set me a pocket. If I have to get out, I have to get out. That's part of it, right? And, you know, just stay on your guy, stay on his hip, and we'll make plays and allow us to, you know, get this thing going outside, and we can do that. We'll be a tough team to beat.
Dak, Kevin Gray, 105 through the fan. Jake Ferguson, another touchdown catch today. Can you talk about how your relationship has grown with him and how you've encouraged him in his growth in his game and what you've seen from him in production?
Yeah, Jake's going to be a big-time player. I mean, he's already coming into that, making big-time plays, but he is going to be a big-time player, one of the top tight ends in this league. Just a matter of time, honestly, a matter of the games and him putting them together back to back to back. But that's what he expects out of himself, and not only that, that's what we expect from him. You know what I mean? As a team, as an offense, and he's a great player. Has a mindset that you want, playing such a dirty position where you've got to run block, and then next thing you know, you've got to go make plays and physical plays across the middle. He's talented. He's got the right personality and mentality for it, and he's a fun teammate. He's a fun teammate, and he's one of the best teammates. Honestly, he's going to do whatever he can for those other 10 guys on the field at that time, and the other 50 plus that he can every time his number's called. And so, bright future ahead.
Last one, Michael.
I know you guys emphasize footwork. You had that one where you're on your back foot. I think your left foot was in the air when you threw that one to CD. And like you stuck out your tongue afterward.
Are you sure with that? I'll be honest, I was throwing it away, but that CD Lamb being CD Lamb didn't quite get it out of bounds, and CD came back, and that's kind of why I stuck my tongue out like, man, just put it in his vicinity, and it's going to be his or nobody. And so, yeah, that was a wild play, and it was funny. Cooper Rush already knew I was throwing it away, but that's just part of the game. Obviously, when you're hot, you're feeling good, and trying to be safe with the throw, right? Saw the defenders back to CD. Was really, as I said, trying to get it out of bounds, but for it to be short, I mean, credit to him, honestly, coming back, fighting for it, and making the catch. Just says really where he is. And as I said, and then the other one I threw away in the back of the end zone and thought it was to, the Cowboys back there, and CD comes out of nowhere and catch it. So that he's spectacular. He's spectacular. Thank you.